come follow us. What are we on Instagram? Are we faces? What are we? We're face? Okay, follow us on face. And then I'm Dr. Lana, DoctorLanna. Would love to follow because I do put a lot of stuff on there. And Chris, yours is...
I should put it up there.
You put it up there. Okay, perfect.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you, okay. So Chris, on his Instagram, I saw that he was doing a lot of hair auto transplantation. And that's something that I'm gonna, like I grabbed him up here and I was like, okay, can you talk a little bit about that? Because it's very lucrative and it's a nice niche, and I don't think a lot of people know that that can be added on. And the good thing is, he was just explaining to me, is that the techs do all of the work. So if you guys have a practice for hair restoration, you could do also, you know, auto transplantation of hair, and that would be great in salons too. So I'm gonna pass it over to Chris Asandra. Dr. Lana.
Yeah, I just tried the DR, it's actually spelled out.
I'll give you mine at the end, guys. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Christopher Asandra. I come from my practice currently right now is in Beverly Hills, California. But I actually originally started with the new male clinics. I came up with this idea, kind of like Hardik was saying. I kind of want to tell you how I got started with this. I was an ER doc. I was getting burnt out. I was working long shifts, night shifts, and everything. And wanted a better life for myself. So I started, the first time I came up with this idea was when people would approach me and say, hey doc, can you give me testosterone and Viagra? And I said, oh, that's what every guy wants, right? And it's part of their sexuality, part of their manlyhood. So that's a good idea. I could probably do something like that. In 2012, and then all these business owners were asking me for it. So I came up with this concept of what do men want? And well, they want to stay vital, they want to stay virile, and they're also interested in some aesthetics as well. So I started talking to, I met a guy, he was actually my business partner. He was in banking, so I was lucky enough to have someone with some business background in that. And I came up with this concept of, why don't we give testosterone to people, medically monitored of course, and treat ED, because guys have ED. So I started the New Male Clinic back in 2013. We started about in 2013, and kind of how I got started is I came up with this idea. And I said to myself, I go, you know, what if this fails? All these things go through our heads and everything, but I dove right into it. Monday I went to apply for a loan. Thursday I got approved, and I said, here we go. We came up with a marketing plan and everything, a branding, and it took off from there. I'll get more into that. After that, once I was treating all these men, louder? Okay. Once I was treating all these men, I was noticing that their wives couldn't keep up with them. So I said, what's the other part of it? And, well, the female vitality part of it. So in about 2015, we started the New Femme clinic there. Same building, separate floors, very private. So there was no intermixing. Guys wouldn't see the women, women wouldn't see the guys when we came in. And New Femme was born, and that's actually probably been even more successful. I did not know that women needed this just as much. And then the first premiere about 8 months ago, I decided to combine the two and work at a clinic because I was kind of traveling to all these different clinics and overseeing them, and I started my own practice in Beverly Hills where I combined both services, the men and the female. Clinic focused on bioidentical hormones, sexual wellness, PRP, and aesthetics as well, because they're there, might as well capture them while they're there. And so, in 2012, I started in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It was a very blue-collar town, a lot of beer, a lot of ED, a lot of heart disease there, so I knew it'd be a good market. So we focused originally on testosterone replacement therapy with pellets. I don't use any creams, gels, or pills or anything like that. I just found that bioidentical pellets are more effective and it's the way to go. So we started there with doing testosterone, and then we incorporated the erectile dysfunction part of it too, with the trimixes, the quad mixes, the injection therapy for men. About 98% of them respond to this type of treatment. It's an instant erection for them. So I knew it was something they wanted. Many of them had failed Viagra. Many of them had failed PD-5 inhibitors. And so this was really the way to go. And then we kind of branched out a little bit and started doing more with PRP. I went through 3 different PRP systems before I finally found the PRP system that I like that's actually very effective for that. And I can talk to you guys more about that after. I think kind of what Lana was saying, we also started doing the NeoGraft hair restoration, or FUE. It's not like the Bosley where they cut a big strip at the back of your head and butcher you. This is where they extract each follicle from the back and then place it in the front. Men, it's something that men want. They, ladies care about their aesthetics and their face, men care about their hair and that working. So that was kind of where I found that niche. First 2 years, we really garnered the attention of a lot of physicians around the world, actually. And we expanded 10 more clinics nationwide in 2 years. And it was physicians like yourself who said, I have all these patients here who want, to have ED, who want hormones and all this. And so they started talking to me, and we kind of decided to, I don't want to say franchise, but partner with everybody else to expand the practice where, I made all these mistakes when I was going through this, and I wanted to pass what I learned on to everybody else because it really helps the brand expand, but also helps you guys become more profitable. Right now we have 11 clinics nationwide for the New Mail brand. These are the different locations we have. Just to take a look here. Again, we started in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and up there Chicago, Green Bay, and then we're all over now. So my latest one is the Beverly Hills and the Houston location. And yeah, then we founded the New Femme Clinic 2015, and there was just so many people interested from New Mail. We decided to start the female version of this, which really focused on BHRT and sexual wellness and PRP aesthetics as well. We have 4 clinics now nationwide. 2 more coming online soon here. And this one again focuses on pellet therapy. And I'm telling you, pellets are the way to go. Does anybody use bioidenticals in their practice currently? Yeah. Creams, gels, injections, everything. Guys, or men and women feel the best when they have a pellet because you get this constant release in them. It's very profitable, and I'll go into that a little bit later. So, originally, hard to talk a little about branding. You need to brand yourself. You need to come up with, your services, but your brand as well. These are some of the logos that we came up with initially for New Mail. While I was kind of looking back and just kind of seeing which one I liked, and these were just a few of them that our logo company came up with. And it's kind of fun to just look back and see the different concepts. We're actually in the process of revising our logo. It's kind of see it like a club. You got to kind of evolve with the times and change your branding here and there with it. So, marketing and branding, like Hardik was talking about, it's kind of evolved. When I initially started, I remember we put an ad in the paper, in the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. And I don't remember how much it was, but it said something about, has Viagra failed you? If so, call us, testosterone replacement therapy. And I remember sitting by when we first launched that ad, my business partners and I, we went to work on the first day. We're sitting there by the phone, just, is somebody gonna call? Nobody's calling. And we sat there, we're like, did we just make a big mistake? And we've invested all this money into it. I think we just made the biggest mistake. I'm gonna have to go back to the ER. Oh no. But I remember our first call at 11:30 came in, and we took that first appointment. And we were like high-fiving each other, giving each other hugs. We booked our first appointment. And I still remember what the guy said. He goes, make sure you call and remind me of my appointment date because I suffer from CRS. And I said, sir, what's CRS? I'm like thinking, oh no, it's some weird disease. He said, yeah, make sure you call me because I can't remember shit. That's what he told me. So I said, okay, we'll make sure I call you. That was our very first patient. So we originally started with a lot of print, TV, and radio. We had all these radio ads going on. Again, it depends on your market. Some people, radio doesn't work anymore, TV doesn't work anymore, but that's in each of our clinics. We kind of have to dive into the demographics there and see what works best in every geological region. So that's really important that you guys do that and see what's going on there. Does it work? Yes, TV, print, radio do work, but it's kind of evolving. And part of the same. We're starting to go now more towards a digital era here. It's more social media, SEO, Google pay-per-click, or AdWords like he was talking about, video content, and then also online reviews. As much as we hate Yelp, everything, I kind of call them the billion-dollar bully. It's a necessary evil to do. What sucks is that we can't really respond to them due to HIPAA laws, right? It's not like a restaurant. So I really don't like online reviews, but it's really necessary to get your practice going. Google, you should at least get 5 to 6 off the bat to really make a presence there. You just have to be very careful about who you want reviewing you, and you want to encourage them to review you as well. Video.
Do you specifically solicit for that?
We don't solicit. We said if you had a great experience, would you mind going online and talking about your experience? I don't tell them necessarily to go write a review because Yelp has certain filters that will. I don't know how they do it, but they can actually pick it out. And if you don't pay Yelp, they tend to put your good reviews down, which is very unfortunate. But they do that. They're a billion-dollar bully, as we call them. Video content's very important. I have so many patients that come to me right now saying, I saw you on YouTube. Patients now want to get to know the doctor, not just the services. They want to know about you. organically who you are, everything about you. You want to know, is this a doctor that I can relate with, right? They can see your website, all your services, and all this stuff, but you really want to identify with the doctor more and see that you're nice, you're humble, you're approachable, you're empathetic, you're compassionate, and everything else. So I get so many patients now say, I saw on YouTube, and I was just, while I was researching erectile dysfunction or bioidentical hormones, they really found, a lot of them found me on YouTube, Instagram, and I get a lot of my business that way. And it's free. It's almost free because creating that video content is well, you have to hire somebody to do that, but it's really an organic way to put yourself out there because people will Google you. They're going to Google you. They're going to look you up, and they're going to see if you are reputable or not. So, SEO rankings. I encourage everybody, if you're starting your practice, make sure you get relevance and presence on Google too. So. You got to make sure you have a Google My Business page. When you Google something, it pops up on the left and it shows your address, your phone number, and everything else, and pictures of you and everything. And you may have to call Google to have them kind of optimize this for your pay a digital company. But it's very important that when they Google Dr. So-and-so, that you're popping up, has your reviews, and everything else is there. So it's really important to have that. And again, I've tried to play around with it too, like Hardik was doing. It's really hard to do, so you're probably going to have to hire somebody to do that. Google will actually come out and film your office, like a virtual tour of it. That really helps your presence on Google and your SEO. So when people are Googling hormone replacement therapy, you pop up first. You want to be in the top 3. And again, if you're not, you want to make sure that your ads are popping up for that as well. We've really seen a transition from the billboards and print and radio, TV ads. It's really starting to shift over the past 2 years more towards digital marketing. It's really the key because that's how often you guys on your phone, right? And we actually track and see people on our website, how they found us and what platform they're using to find us. And most 72% of them are using a mobile device for their phone. Not many people are using the PC anymore, really using their laptop computers. It's the phone or iPad or whatever it is. So it's really important that you guys optimize your website too and make sure it's mobile friendly. If it's not, people will just close your page right away and just go away. So here's an example here that what's your laser pointer right here? Well, anyways, so.
On the top is there.
Oh, it's top, okay. So here we have the growth hormone therapy, someone's Googling that, and in one of my clinics in Tampa, you see all these different ads, like he was talking about earlier, the AdWords. This is what an ad looks like here. This stuff here is what a Google AdWord or pay-per-click is. But if you look here, when you talk about growth hormone therapy, everything else, New Man Medical, my site's popping up first in this box here, but also in the organic search results. So that's where you really have to find a good company that can do that and get you to the top. And it does take months. It's not an immediate thing. It's patience. It's going to be 3 or 4 or 5, 6 months before you really start kind of coming up. I mean, first we were on page 6. Now we're on page 1 in position 1. It's very important that you guys find a good digital marketing company. I have some suggestions if you need it, but they will all blow smoke up your ass and just try to say, oh, we're the best, this and that. I'm going to get you to Google. Number 1, it's not true. You got to make sure you find someone that's reputable and that's follows through on their word. We've been through literally 4 or 5 different SEO companies before I finally found one that's going to work with you, because they'll sell you a bill of goods, and it's not good to spend tens of thousands of dollars on that and then you're SOL. So, but social media, like I said, is the future. It's Instagram. I get so many of my patients now from Instagram. When they see my presence, they get to know me. It's not all clinical. A lot of these doctors and cosmetic and plastic surgeons just focus purely on what they're doing before and afters and all that. They want to know who you are. They want to know that it's the person that they can trust, that they can go to this person. He's a nice guy, he or she's a nice person and approachable, but they have also produce good results. And I keep it very vanilla. I'll post pictures of my dog. I don't post anything too personal in there. But I also do post clinical things as well. But that's really what drives the people in, and that we've noticed a very shifting change. Because if you're just like everybody else posting before and afters, I'm about to do this procedure, it doesn't set you apart from the guy down the street. You really need to focus on that. Monthly users, you can kind of see now, Facebook is still huge. They somewhat limit on what you can and can't advertise on Facebook, but it's still big, especially for our age range. More and more of the young people are kind of going more towards Instagram, Snapchat, because Facebook is still king for that. YouTube, huge. The most popular search engine out there is Google. The second is YouTube. Just remember that, it's YouTube, because people go to videos and want to look up how to fix their car or whatever it is on YouTube. They want to see a video, so make sure you're creating that video content constantly and pushing that out. And it may require hiring somebody, or you can just start out using your phone. That's what I did. Start using your phone and film yourself doing a procedure, have your assistant just film you. People want to see that. Snapchat, yeah, it's still a lot. I don't like using it, but it's a necessary evil that you guys have to do. A lot of people use it still. I still post some stuff on there, but I'm finding more and more people are using Instagram more than Snapchat. So all this other stuff, WhatsApp, you really can't do anything on there. Twitter, not really. WeChat's huge in Asia, Weibo and WeChat. The Chinese love it. So a lot of people use that to communicate with me who are in China. But I personally don't know how to use it. So this is a video I just wanted to show. Or if I could just...
Yes,
Yeah,
sure.
it's on this one or this one?
No, it's on that one.
This one? Okay. I'll press play.
That's it.
Okay, so this is like some video content that I created, kind of introducing my clinic to everybody in Beverly Hills. It's something you guys really should invest in because this should go on your front page of your website. So, oops, I go back. Okay, let's see here. At New Mill Medical Center, we deliver world-class service for erectile dysfunction, low testosterone or testosterone replacement therapy, medical weight loss, growth hormone therapy, and PRP or platelet-rich plasma services. Currently, we have 12 New Mill Medical Centers and 4 New Femme Rejuvenation clinics nationwide. At New Mill Medical Center, we treat men. At New Femme Rejuvenation Clinic, we treat women. Contrary to what many people may think, both sexes need testosterone.
I'm Antonio Sabato Jr. and I'm a true believer in New Mill Medical Center. I love my hormone replacement that I'm on.
The 3 most common problems we see at New Mill are erectile dysfunction, low testosterone, and weight gain. Antonio and I met through mutual friends. When he started talking to me more and telling me about his issues, I found out he was a really good candidate for our treatment.
My testosterone level was low for many years.
The reason why New Mill's hormone therapy program is so successful and so effective is we use bioidentical pellets, the natural release of hormones into the body over a period of time.
I was extremely depressed. I couldn't sleep, so I was on antidepressants and sleeping pills. The reason why I don't use lotions is because it gets in my hands and I can't touch my loved ones. I can't touch my kids. Hormone replacement therapy is the way to go.
For Antonio, he needed about 8 pellets to get into that optimal level. He's a very active gentleman, physically, mentally, and he's a very demanding job.
Yay!
The reason I'm so passionate and excited about providing these types of treatments to everyone is I've seen the impact in their lives and it's changed. You know, I've combined old technology with new technology, innovated everything, and created the perfect therapy for men and women. One thing I'm really proud of at New Mill is our 98% success rate with erectile dysfunction. We've changed so many men's lives, restored their confidence and their vitality. Low testosterone actually has very negative effects on the body. Most of my patients come in and they're very fatigued, they have low libido, they have brain fog, they go to the gym and they can't put on that muscle mass.
Since I've been on New Mill therapy, my strength level is skyrocketing. My mood is unbelievably great all the time. I can't complain. I wouldn't change it. Because of New Mill therapy, I feel younger, stronger, and more confident. New Mill Medical Center, discovered in
Yeah.
Asandra, I love you, and I'm going to share my secrets to all the women out there. I shouldn't, but I will, because he's worth it, and he's really good looking too.
So that, I mean, creating video content really doesn't take that much. It's really easy to make. And putting yourself out there, you know, getting in local publications. This is the grassroots stuff that I do. I'll go lecture at like a gym or to a group of retired senior citizens and all that. And really, you'll see the word of mouth is key too. And getting yourself out there and just having these types of pictures on your Instagram or social media. This is what they want to see. They don't necessarily want to see all the procedures you do. Yeah, part of it, but they want to see that you guys, you know, you're a team, then you're going to help them overall. So I was going to show this, just kind of an intro to bioidenticals. Here, there's a scene that I just saw here on a movie called The Snowman with Michael Fassbender. And it was interesting to kind of show the evolution of kind of where we're going.
Don't worry, I'm getting off at the next stop. Going far?
Bergen.
Ah, rather you than me. Then again, I'm attending a 3-day conference on bioidentical hormone restoration.
I thought you were a plastic surgeon.
Well, no. Cosmetic surgery needs to move with the times too. We're swapping the scalpel for hormone replacement therapy. if you can slow down the aging process, there won't be any need for facelifts, will there? I'll bear that in mind. So how's the prescription working?
So it's kind of cool. We're starting to see more and more people shift towards this because, again, if you, what's that? It's a movie. It was actually a movie, Snowman. I was watching it last week and I was like, holy cow. It's perfect saying for kind of, if you can slow down the aging process, you can really help a lot of people because, you can do all these cosmetics and you should, Botox, fillers and everything, but, your skin, as you go through menopause, everybody knows, gets worse and everything, but if you can slow that down, you're going to enhance your cosmetic procedures as well as your results. So hormones, I think, is kind of the wave of the future. We're on that cusp. There's a lot of controversy around it too. Is it safe? Is it going to cause cancer? And we can talk more about that in a bit. But first and foremost with hormones, you got to know this pathway here. This is really key to kind of understand where hormones kind of start. It all starts from cholesterol. I don't like to use statins in my patients. I don't believe in statins because it's vital for the brain. The brain's 70% cholesterol. It's also vital for production of hormones. And when you block all that, that's why they get all the side effects of it. So this is memorizing this, especially in this area down here, where everything kind of starts happening. This is really key to understanding the pathway. And the enzymes like 5-alpha reductase and all this, aromatase, because you're going to prescribe a lot of these types of blockers to them to stop the conversion to estrogen in men or control the estrogen in men or hair loss with DHT, 5-alpha reductase inhibitors, etc. And just everything else here. Testosterone, converts into estrogen. So cortisol, everything else. This pathway is key. It's really, I know it's biochem, it's med school, but you got to learn it. It's really something you need to go back and just understand again. So, why bioidenticals? What makes a bioidentical different from a synthetic? Bioidentical hormones, the molecular structure of bioidenticals is exactly the same as the one in the human body. You guys have heard about the WHI trials and everything like that, where they were using conjugated equine estrogens, Premarin, and all their synthetic ones. Those were made from Premarin, which stands for pregnant mare. They're using horse urine to manufacture them. Of course, you're going to get side effects. That's why people have clots and breast cancer and everything else. But the bioidenticals are usually plant-based, and they don't cause those types of side effects. You're associated with lower risk of cardiovascular disease, and actually lower risk of breast cancer too in some of the new studies. Increased bone density. I've had several of my patients with osteopenia, osteoporosis, that we've been able to almost reverse them by putting them on bioidentical hormones, optimizing it. Not only do they feel better, their bone density increases, their heart, their exercise tolerance goes up, more lean muscle mass, and it just makes them feel a whole lot better. Bioidenticals are tailored, so it's not a one-size-fits-all like Premarin. It's not like, here you go, everybody gets the same dose. It's customized for the individual. So everybody's gonna be different. I have people as my oldest patient is 87 from the females. My youngest one is probably in her late 30s. They're gonna have different dosings, based on their activity level, their size, their race, medical problems, etc. So it's all tailored, and that's kind of what I want to teach people is kind of how to dose that effectively and efficiently. So all that kind of slows down the aging process. I mean, I'm 85, look at me. Everybody remembers the Women Health Initiative, extremely flawed study. They used Prempro. They thought progestin was the culprit there. And some of the stats that came with it, increased stroke, blood clots, MI, all this stuff. Horrible study done, but that's not evident with the bioidenticals. Just a little couple facts, 3,500 women in the United States, they go into menopause every day. How many people have gone through it or know people have gone through it? It can be quite torturous, if you will, for a lot of women. Affects their relationships, affects their self-esteem. Sexually, they have a lot of dryness, they may have dyspareunia as well. It's really big among the over 50 crowd now. 20% of men over age 50 have hypogonadism here. It's usually higher in people with diabetes, obesity, traumatic brain injury. I've been seeing a lot of veterans coming back from Iraq and everything, and because of the trauma to their head, they have lower testosterone levels, and somehow affects their pituitary, LH and FSH release. So we've been able to replace that then, and we've been able to get them off antidepressants, and they're no longer suicidal, no longer depressed. So, doctors are always more focused on targeting the symptoms rather than the cause. How many of you guys have a depressed patient, you just throw them Prozac, or oh, you're stressed out, here's an antidepressant. And when women are going through menopause, we're just so eager to write these different antidepressants for them. About 80% of my patients who get on hormone replacement therapy get off antidepressants, anti-anxiety meds. So you're not treating the symptoms, you're treating the cause here. I don't believe in antidepressants. Sometimes I think you need it, but what I've been able to do with the hormones has just been so drastic that I really discourage the use of SSRIs and everything else. Hormone deficiencies, some of these are the symptoms here. Brain fog is the big one. Fatigue, that's one of the big things I hear right now, especially us. We're burning the candle from both ends. We're always on the go. It's a digital world now. We're being bombarded by emails, texts, social media, and everything. Yeah, we're seeing a big trend from the 50s to now. Actually, they say after 9/11, our testosterone levels are starting to drop now, and then more because of all the stress and the negative news and everything that we see. So, huge. Decreased libido, anxiety, the brain fog that comes with this, weight gain, huge, of course. So, incorporating hormones into your practice, you can really help manage these people's weights, and these people really slim down very quickly once you optimize your hormones. Hot flashes and night sweats, that's the big thing I hear from a lot of women with the dryness. When you can reverse that within a couple weeks, they really think you're like a god with them. And it improves their relationship too. Decreased muscle mass. I don't know if you ever hear a person saying, you know what, I work out every day, I work out 5 days, 6 times a week, I can't lose weight. I'm in the gym and I can't put on that muscle mass. Probably their hormones. I mean, if you really check them out, you'll see that you can really help them out that way. Joint pain as well. Migraines, you give them a little testosterone to women, really helps their migraines out. I've ablated a lot of these women's migraines just by optimizing the hormones. They no longer get migraines anymore, so huge. HRT methods, as we know, there's the patches, the oral pills, and injectables. Bioidenticals come in the creams, gels, and what I like to use is the pellet therapy, just because it's so effective. Pellets are naturally derived from soy and yam based, the fillers. They're each individually customized, like for example, estrogen, you could have everything from 6 milligrams all the way up to 25. Knowing how to dose the patient based on their levels, their FSH, their weight, age, etc. That's kind of like where I come in and kind of help people learn what the dosing protocol is. It's the same molecular structure as the human body, like I said, and you get a constant, steady release in the body 24/7 versus this up and down roller coaster method you get with the creams and the gels and the shots, because you're constantly these capillaries form around the pellet when you insert it. And as the body needs more, it kind of takes more. So you get this constant release in the body over a certain period of time. Females, every 3 to 4 months, as I've noticed, when they put a pellet back in them, because you don't take the pellet out, it slowly dissolves. Men, I can probably get away with 4 to 6 months. Again, it's all dependent on cardiac output and their activities. So the more they work out, I have a lot of athletes, CrossFitters and everything, they're going to burn through those pellets a lot quicker than someone who's more stationary. Again, it's customized dosing per pellet. With BHRT, the estradiol, they're 50% less likely to develop Alzheimer's when you replace your estrogen during menopause or around menopause to therapeutic levels. Progesterone, we don't use pellets because progesterone can make you sleepy, right? You don't want to put something in that's going to make them sleepy 24/7. It's usually a pill or a cream that we'll use for progesterone. Testosterone, huge with dementia and Alzheimer's. During the first 10 years of menopause, if you institute it, you can really ward off Alzheimer's and dementia. Women get it about 8 to 1, 8 times more likely to get it than men are with Alzheimer's. With testosterone and estrogen replacement, you increase the neurotransmitters in the brain. So all my patients say, hey, everything's just clear now. My brain fog's gone. I can focus. I can multitask. I'm a go-getter now. I'm more alpha. Versus using Adderall and all these stimulants to keep them focused and coffee. Memory improvement we see with that as well. How many people have those brain lapses where they just forgot where I put my keys and all that. All that usually goes away when you optimize your hormones. Fibromyalgia, which it's very controversial whether it exists or not, but people like to use that term, and I've been able to really help patients I guess not cure, but treat their fibromyalgia, and they feel a lot better. They're more active with that. You can also use these hormones in breast cancer too. Although I won't give them estrogen, I will give them something like testosterone with an estrogen blocker in that. And these women really improve their life. It really helps them since they've been on so many anti-estrogens, et cetera, tamoxifen and anastrozole, Fumarin, all those things that kind of make them feel less womanly and make them feel like crap. Benefits of the pellets, of course, the increased energy, it's a better sense of well-being. You get better results with diet and exercise. So anytime I put a person on pellets or hormones, I say, okay, a week from now, I want you to just hit the gym. You got to change your whole lifestyle around. This is the first day of the rest of your life. We're going to replace all this, but if you just sit at home, it's not going to work. You really got to encourage them for diet and exercise and everything else. To get the increased libido, the mental clarity, a lot of decrease in body fat, especially centrally in men. Men, you know, as we age, we get the love handles, a spare tire around the waist. When you optimize that, a lot of that goes away. And you also help with the visceral fat, which is behind the muscle too. It really helps shrink all that. So when you're combining that with like other cosmetic procedures, it's non-invasive body